They said love couldn't survive between the poor and the rich, but Emily and John proved hearts don't follow rules. He said love couldn't survive between the poor and the rich, but Emily and John proved hearts don't follow rules. Emily lived in the quiet outskirts of Leeds, in a worn-down cottage with peeling paint and cracked windows. But inside was a world rich with dreams, warmth, and love. Her father was a retired coal miner, her mother a seamstress who worked day and night to make ends meet. Emily, 19, bright-eyed and book-loving, worked part-time at the town library while dreaming of becoming a writer. She had always been content with little, until the day she met John, the charming 21-year-old son of a powerful businessman from London, visiting Yorkshire for a summer project. Their worlds couldn't have been more different, as tailored. Coats and designer shoes clashed with her threadbare cardigans and muddy boots, but when he walked into the library asking for directions to the town archives, everything changed. They talked. Then they talked more. Then they couldn't stop. By the third week, they were walking by the river together, laughing about poetry, sharing chips, and ignoring the stares from townspeople who couldn't quite believe what they were seeing. Emily never imagined someone like John could fall for, someone like her, but he did. Deeply, recklessly, completely. He loved the way she found beauty in small things, how she read him poetry under the trees, how her hands always smelled faintly of paper and ink. She loved how he listened, how he made her feel like the center of the universe, how he promised to make her life bigger. By the 6th week, they'd kissed under the stars and sworn they'd never let the world come between them. But the world was listening. When John's father, Charles Hawthorne, found out about Emily, he erupted. "A poor girl from a mining town," he thundered. "You think you'll embarrass this family with a scandalous affair?" He ordered John to return to London immediately, but John refused. Instead, he brought Emily to London to meet his family, thinking maybe love was enough to break walls. It wasn't. Emily stood in their grand Kensington home like a stranger in a museum. Cold glances, passive insults, her tea left untouched. She never fit. His mother whispered loudly enough for her to hear. That night, John and Emily fought for the first time. "Maybe they're right," she said through tears. "I don't belong in your world. Then I'll leave mine," he said. But she shook her head. "Can't leave everything behind. I won't let you." Scene 3 took place in silence, a train station. Emily returned to Leeds alone. She stopped answering his calls. She thought love wasn't supposed to hurt this much. John sent letters, flowers, even showed up once at her door, but her father closed it in his face. He said, "Don't make it harder." Months passed. Emily buried herself in books. John was dragged back into business school, locked under his father's shadow. But one day Emily saw an article, "Youngest Hawthorne resigns from family business to launch free book initiative in North." Her heart stopped. He'd followed her passion. He'd chosen her dream. A week later, he walked into the library again. Same boy, but eyes older, heart stronger. "I gave up the empire," he said. "I want to build a world with you, even if it's one book at a time." She broke down. And for the first time, she didn't push him away. Scene 4 was rebuilding. They rented a small place together. In York, nothing fancy, uneven floorboards, secondhand furniture, but it was theirs. They worked odd jobs. John built a mobile library van. Emily wrote stories inspired by the people they met. Slowly, their names started appearing in local press. Love on Wheels, the couple bringing books to forgotten towns. His parents tried to reconnect. "Come back, we'll accept her now." But John declined. "You don't get to choose her when it's convenient." Scene 5, 2 years later, Emily stood on stage in Manchester at a book launch. Her debut novel, Dust and Diamonds. A story about love between a coal miner's daughter and a millionaire's son had just hit the bestseller list. John stood in the front row, teary-eyed, holding flowers. The crowd clapped, the lights were warm, and her voice never shook. She looked at him and said, "To the man who gave up everything and gave me everything." Final scene there. Older now, sitting in a cottage again. This one their own. With sunflowers in the yard and laughter in the kitchen. Kids run barefoot through the hall. Emily writes, "John cooks," and on the shelf lies a framed photo of 2 teenagers by the river. A reminder that love doesn't care about bank accounts or bloodlines. It only asks, will you choose each other again and again?